What's up guys, servers.net here, and today I'm going to show you an outdated version of how to set up a VPN server. Now, this version is going to be a beginner-friendly one, and what I mean by that is that instead of using like a lot of command line stuff, I will be more focused upon those who have no like a lot of knowledge in using the command line and stuff. So if you're an advanced user, you can of course watch this as well. But if you are interested in going more in depth, this is probably not the video for you. So beginner friendly, let's go. What is a VPN? A VPN stands for a virtual private network, and we're also going to go over how it works and the pros and cons of using said VPN. So how does it work? Well, we have your PC here, and that connects to the internet, and then it goes over to through the internet to connect to websites and stuff. So what a VPN does is that it goes in between the link from the websites and to your PC basically. So when before you would just connect like this through the internet and then to the website like Facebook and Netflix. You connect to a VPN server, and then the VPN server basically connects to whatever websites you want to visit. And there's also an encrypted version of this, which we're going to use today. We're going to set up a 2048-bit encrypted VPN server here, and we're going to use OpenVPN. So that is basically how it works. Let's look at the pros and cons here. It hides your real IP. Now, if you really want to use this and totally keep your IP private, you want to Google something called stun request, and then you need to disable the stun request in your browser. Otherwise, it can still be seen. It encrypts the data from your PC and to the VPN server. So any data transmitted from your PC to the VPN is encrypted. And then it's decrypted from the VPN to whatever websites you visit and stuff. So using a VPN, you will be able to see content otherwise blocked in your area, like censored stuff. Like if you live in China, I believe that YouTube is actually blocked in China. So if you live in China, you can get like a VPN server in Europe, and you will be able to use YouTube. Also, if you are anywhere else in the world, you are probably well aware of how little content you have on Netflix. So if you get a VPS server, that I will go more in depth in a minute. If you get a VPS server, set up a VPN on that one in the United States, you will be able to see a lot more content on your Netflix account. So you can also use this to secure any Wi-Fi connections that you find in like a hotspot. Like if you sit in a cafe at like or like Starbucks or something, and then you connect to their hotspot, the data transmitted is easily picked up by a third party and could be logged and stuff like that. So it's a good idea to encrypt that connection. Now you need to understand that this is not fully anonymous. Of course, like government entities, if you really want this to be secure, you would want to get a VPS server in Switzerland. They have some decent laws about not handing out information and stuff. So if you really want to be secure in that sort of way, you would want to get one in Switzerland. I believe that they are against handing out information and stuff to keep their reputation up, and apparently that's where a lot of privacy-minded people get a VPS from. So if you choose like, I'm not saying that any other VPS server will do this, but as you sign up for a VPS server, you have to enter like your credit card information to buy it, and like your address and stuff. So of course, wherever you purchase this VPS server, they will have your private information. Also on the VPS server, since you're connecting directly from your home computer to the VPS server, your IP address can be seen from the VPS provider, basically. Also, another con here is that it can slow down your internet connection quite a bit. I have a 100 megabit connection to my home, and when using a VPN, I only get about 70, which is also quite good. But again, this may vary depending on what host you choose. Also, I generally use mine when I was in a dorm room, because apparently my dorm room network did not allow playing games, funny enough. So I had to use a VPN server to play even the basic game like Counter-Strike and stuff. So yeah. Now a VPS, it stands for Virtual Private Server. What it does is that it shares more powerful hardware. So basically a provider would buy a very powerful CPU, a lot of RAM, a lot of storage and stuff, and then basically divide this hardware into parts. So like if you buy 1 core and like 4 gig of RAM, then basically they sell that out to more people, and by that making more use of what hardware would otherwise not be used in that sort of way. So again, it's a lot cheaper, and you can find some really cheap ones at lowendbox.com because my company's Serenity servers are not we do not have VPS servers yet. But let's get started here. So basically, as you can see here, I have the lowendbox website open, and as you can see, you can just select like a location here. We would want one in Switzerland, for example, here. And as you can see, they have some cheap ones here for like $7 a month. So yeah, let's get started now. What we're gonna use, as I said before, this is beginner friendly. So we're gonna use a script by a guy called Road Warrior, I suppose. I'm not sure if that's actually the guy, or if that, like, this guy right here apparently made it. I don't know. As you can see, there's an install script here, and we're gonna use this. So when you get details for your VPS server, in this case I'm using Debian. I'm a big fan of Debian. It's very stable and secure and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna put in the IP address into my Putty window here, and you can find the program Putty in the description bar here. So let's connect over SSH to this server, and as you can see, it's asking me for a username. I'm gonna type in root. You need to be root to run this. So and then type in the in the password here. Now in Putty, when you want to paste stuff, you don't press Control V. You basically copy it from here, and then you right click in the window, and that's gonna paste it, as you can see there. So that's basically how you paste in the Putty. So firstly, we want to make sure that this operating system is updated. So we'll do apt -get update. And that's going to run through the mirrors and make sure they're all updated. And that's already done. And now we want to do apt-get upgrade. That's basically going to look for any updates for any programs that are installed on this system, like the kernel and stuff. So now that we make sure that it's all updated, we can now begin by installing this script here. So just as you can see, the installation is it's fairly easy actually. Just type in that command there, just paste it in as I said before, using the right click there, run it, and it's gonna download the program for you here. And it's gonna ask you a few things here. It asks if you want to use this IP address, and it found that by going to a website, I believe, and then finding that. But if it's not here, you would want to type in the IP address that you would want to use for a VPN. So like if you have multiple IP addresses, you want to type in that is actually hooked up to the system. But in this case, we're just going to use this one that came up here. The port, now this is important because if you are in a dorm room that block certain stuff, then they probably also blocked this VPN port. Like at my old dorm room, I had to use port 8080. And some of you may think that it's bad, but whoops. Let me just run this again. Sorry. Some of you may be thinking that port 8080 is used for something else, but for the most part, port 8080 is a backup port or alternative to port 80, and it should be fine. So I'm just going to use the default port for OpenVPN here, and do you want OpenVPN to be available on port 53.2? Again, as I said, it may be restrictive. Like port 53 is used by DNS servers, I believe. So most firewalls will let this through, but if you are not sure, just put it to no, and if it doesn't work, I suppose you would set this to yes. You want to be able to do internal networking, meaning that if multiple people connect to this, will you be able to see them as if they're in the same house, basically? Like if you know how in a LAN network you can see computers on the network, and then you can like share files and stuff between them. That is basically how this works, and by default it's set to no. And I suppose like if you want to have multiple people use this VPN, then you can set it to no. But if you're sure that only you are going to be using it, and you have like multiple computers hooked up to it, you could probably set this to yes. But we're just going to go with the default option, which is no here. Now it's going to ask me what DNS to use. There's a few. This one doesn't affect the one on your computer, but what it does affect is that when you connect to the VPN, what DNS to use. And by default, it's set to use the one that the system, meaning your VPS server, like what the VPS server is set up to use. And in this case, I believe this is using the local ones in the data center here, which is a lot faster sometimes. But if you wanted to be fully open, I suppose you could go with OpenDNS. I also use them on my PC, so I'm just going to go with the default option here, using the current one. Now we need to tell this script here what we're going to call the client that are connecting. So like if you have multiple clients, you can call this like John, Adam, Shane, whatever. Now I'm just going to call this testing, because this is, testing environment, I suppose. And now we're all ready. Let's continue here. Now it's setting up OpenVPN for us, and it's also going to generate the 2048-bit encryption key there. Now it doesn't take as long as it states there. Of course, if you have a really slow one, it could take a long time. And this one here is a privately signed SSL certificate, so I suppose you could use one that you purchased, but this is fine for us. Alright, so I actually looked up road warrior on a dictionary, and apparently it means a person who who is away from their desk a lot and need some network available resources or something. So smart every day, right? Now, as you can see here, the script has now completed adding our config, and as you can see, if you type in ls, which lists the directory, you can see here that we now have an OpenVPN config available to us. Now, personally, I use the OpenVPN client 2.2.1, I think. No, 2.2.2. And you can find that download on the OpenVPN website here. Let me just find a mirror. Let me see if I can find it. Just hold on a minute. Alright, so I found this mirror here, which is all the OpenVPN downloads. Now, I use 2.2.2, which is I'm not sure. Of course, that's not the most updated one, but I tried to use this on the latest one, and I had some issues and stuff. So I know that this works on the 2.2.2 one, but you can feel free to test it anywhere, basically. So as you can see here, I will of course leave this link in the description as well, where you can download this client here. And to install this on our OpenVPN software we have on our computer, we need to open up the location of where we installed OpenVPN, and in this case, in just program files, local disk, program files, OpenVPN, and then inside the config folder here. And this is where we need to place the config that this program here, the script here, generate. So to download this, we need to install Filezilla, and of course I will also leave this in the description bar. So to connect using Filezilla, we want to put in the host as the IP address of our VPS. We want to put in the root username and the password. Now you have always been used to using port 21 as an FTP server, but this right here uses the SFTP, which is built into SSH basically. So you want to put in 22, click connect, and as you can see, we're connected right away. And this right here won't allow you to drag and drop directly into this folder, config folder here, because it's in the program files. So what we need to do is download it onto our desktop, and here it is. And we want to install this into the config folder here, and of course continue. And now you can see we have the testing OpenVPN going on there. Now you may be tempted to want to add multiple users to this VPN server. You can do this by typing in let's do bash. Type in bash and then the OpenVPN install script there, and it's gonna immediately look for if you have it installed already. And as you can see, find out that we actually have it installed. So if you want to, you can see there's a little wizard here to help you on your way. And we want to add a certificate for a new user, and I'm gonna call this testing 2, and it's not going to use the already installed certificates that it generated before. And if you look here, just refresh here, and as you can see, we now have another client there. And you can do this for as many as you want. And if you want to remove something, you just press number 2 there, and then enter in the testing 2 in this case. And as you can see, it removed the user. Now, if this user 2 would try to connect now, it wouldn't be allowed. Basically, that's how it works. So let's close this down. We don't need this anymore. This one here, we don't need this anymore. Now, the OpenVPN 2.2.2, I created a shortcut for it here, and you will also have a shortcut on your desktop, I believe. This right here, just clicking on it won't work. A lot of you probably found out about that in my other OpenVPN tutorial. But you need to run this as administrator. So right click it and then run as administrator. And it's going to dim down my screen here. And then yes. And as you can see, it's now running in my process bar, which you can't see. Alright, so to make it a little bit easier, I actually moved the recording space here. And as you can see, when you click on here, it's gonna show up. So you right click on here, and it's gonna click a connect button here, and it's gonna pop up with this little connection screen here, and it's just gonna do its thing, and it's automatically gonna find whatever you need. And testing is now connected, which is the name of the client. Now if we open up our browser here again, and you type in I'm not sure, like there's a lot of different pages where you can see what your IP address is, but in this case I'm using myip.dk because I'm Danish, some of you may know. And as you can see, I am now on the same IP address as my VPN server is, and that is basically how it works. Of course, you can now go on Netflix if you were doing this to access Netflix from like a different country, you would be able to do that now. And yeah, that is how to set up an OpenVPN VPN server. This is encrypted with a 2048-bit encryption, which is very strong, basically the same as the one used by websites to send passwords back and forth. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and it may be a little bit longer than usual, but we went in more in depth. And I sure hope that this cleared out some of the issues. Cleared out some of the issues that some of you have had. So if you have any questions, I will try and answer them as fast as I can if you leave them in the comment bar there. So yeah, thank you for watching.